Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm just going to move my phone. Sorry. I've got my eyelashes on, but I've taken all my makeup off. I just put a little bit of lipstick on. Just feel like talking. I know my hair panned out. My hair's very, very thin. It's long, but it's very, very thin. Turn that down a little bit more. I don't know if anyone listens to what I have to say with little things like this. I just feel to talk about them because I metaphysically on that level when I talk about it. And I'll hold some cards and do some cards because I did a very short reading today because I had to leave. I just want to say first before I start with what I was going to talk about. As a person, I've had some people do some really horrible things to me in my life and accuse me of horrible things that I would never, ever do, which is really horrible. But I've learned in life to be very forgiving to the point one time I should have said this, but I didn't. I told one person, someone said the most horriblest thing about me and thought the most horriblest thing about me with a group of people, and then they just kept telling this person and that person, and I kept hearing back. And then one day I was working, and you can imagine one of the most horriblest things someone could think about you were saying that about you if you're working somewhere. And I have never done anything wrong in my life. I've always been a good, honest person. I have a clean record. I've never done anything wrong. And I had the girl come up to me. This was humiliating. And she was working with me today. And I was nice to her. I'm nice to her because I've always liked her, and I know that not everyone's perfect and everyone makes mistakes. I was furious for a long time. When I'm really angry, I can't talk to people. It's just my way of dealing with things. It's not to be rude. It's not because I want people to give me attention. None of that. I don't want to be spoken to, and I don't want to talk back. And that's my way of coping, because I don't really feel like walking past people and saying hello to them or what have you. That might say like I'm a little harsh, but I am human after all. I'm not perfect, but I'm human. So this was horrible, and when I was working with her, she came up to me. You're going to know exactly the most horrible thing that someone can say about you, and I've never done anything wrong in my life. I've been a good person. My family are good people. We're all good people. And the girl came up to me and said, "What are you wearing?" And physically, this is disgraceful. And actually was pulling the tags on my clothes and on my pants to see what I was wearing and the brand names of what I was wearing. And I thought you are so very lucky that I actually like you as a person. And then she kept going, and I thought, I never said anything, and I've still never said anything to anyone about it, but I'll never forget it, because I know that she must have been, I would say sometimes human beings can be brainwashed by people that they believe are their friends, and they go along with the herd of the cows, more or less to speak, with what they believe is what they want to do and say about people. I mean, I will report things when people have done things that are horrible, or I hear that they've been saying horrible things about me that I know are not true, and I have proof, because I've had proof that it will come back to me, and I've had proof that it's come back. But I'm not going to label those people unless I need to use them. But use them in a way to have to say what happened, but I don't want to do that to people. And I'm very forgiving, but I still think that I still like the girl. I've always thought she was lovely. We used to always talk, and but I just think something as horrible as what she was thinking, and for some people to say the most horriblest thing, and all these people go along with it. I want you to remember something. In this world, in this life, there is a God. Sometimes we have terrible things happen to us in our life, and maybe on another level, before I was born, I wanted certain things like that to happen rather than other things that could have happened. Maybe we choose certain things before they happen. And I do believe that. However, I want to say, always make sure you get your facts right in life and things correct, because we don't really know everything 100%. And if you are going to ever think anything as bad as what I'm in, basically had people think about me, which is not true, just not true, but just utterly humiliatingly disgraceful. Make sure you know and get proof, and make sure that you're right, because if you're not, I'm telling you, people like myself could sue you. And I tell you what, people continue on doing things like that. It's happening in your life, in your circles, in your workplace, in your schooling, in your gyms, wherever it is you may go to. If you can't fully, there's not people that are trying to have your back, that know people that come back and tell you things, or if things are happening and you feel you can't prove them, there are AI glasses out there, remember that. Glasses, they look like normal glasses except for the meta glasses. They blink, they flash when they're recording. But there are glasses out there that you can record, and you can record what's happening to protect yourself. If you were doing it for any other reason, you could get in a lot of serious bad trouble, and you should never do things like that anyway. But when it comes to a point where your life is in jeopardy because it's that bad, or your job is in jeopardy because it's that bad and no one else will believe you, so you have to go to some other resort to protect yourself, or you're at school and you need to protect yourself from people who are bullying you and you can't prove it because no one will believe what you're saying, you can get AI glasses that are not expensive at all. The metal ones are brilliant, but they flash. That's the only problem about them, is they flash as they're recording, which is good because it's a privacy method. You're not meant to take photographs of people in a public setting. But if you're in a working situation, there's many laws you can get in trouble for. So you've got to be very careful. Make sure if you're doing it, you want to make sure you've gone to every other avenue before you get to this stage to do it. And if it's got to that bad of a stage, then if this is what it takes, and this is what it takes to prove your innocence, this is what it takes, sadly. But I don't advise doing it unless it's to such a bad point. But I want to say from a point of view, because I get bullied a lot, but I've learned to stand up for myself, and I've learned to, I sometimes can't talk to people when this is happening to me, and I can't walk around and say hello to this person or good morning to that person because I can't. And it's really hard for me, but don't do anything stupid because of the stupid idiots in this world that live out in this vicinity. Because at the end of the day, you've got to remember, these people are not that smart. Because if they were that smart, they would be right. And if they were right, they wouldn't be doing it. So I want you to remember that, and not personally let these things happen to take your heart and your emotion feel like it's ripping your life away, because it does feel like that. Sometimes things happen, and the best thing we can do is become a stronger person, and maybe we can help people out there in this world from things that are happening to us. But protect yourself, and remember, these people are not, doesn't matter what positions they have in a university, in a working environment, in a school environment, in professionalism in the world, not everybody has different forms of intellectual superiority, of intelligence. Not everybody is all that well, not everybody is intellectually that wonderful at everything. Some people are extremely stupid, and at the end of the day, sadly, it really hurts my heart to have to say things that have happened. It hurts my heart more than anybody, because I know people may not want to be my friends or talk to me or anything like that, but in hindsight of life, and I want you to remember this, and I'm so sorry, I don't like swearing, but by fuck, you've got to look after yourself in this life. If something bad is happening, you need to look after yourself and protect yourself. You don't want to do anything illegal or wrong or bad. But if you have to go to some lengths, never ever do anything legally, never do bad things. But if there's something, and I don't advise on what I've said, but if it's that bad, you may have to resort to something like that, to video what you're looking at, video things, video what you're doing, to prove that, and take photographs of things to protect yourself. If you have to, you have to. But remember, at the end of the day, if these people were that smart and you're a good person, they wouldn't be behaving and acting in the way that they are, because they would know better. Or they would check to make sure that they know correctly that they're not, that they weren't right, rather than run with everything. So just, you know, I just want to confer on, I said that, and I did say something about my life. My sisters and my mum get really mad at me. It's because of my autism. I'm very, very honest. And I was so sick and so unwell for most of my life, the last 13, 14 years to the last few years. So unwell that I never ever thought I'd ever get well or better, but I did. And I just want to say that you've got to look after yourself, protect yourself, and remember that we should never do anything illegal, wrong or bad. Always be a good person. But sometimes, no matter how much of a good person you are, if you're crying and asking for help and wanting someone to help you and they're not helping you, from myself, if it takes it to actually get a pair of AI glasses, toy glasses, not the ones that flash, you may just have to protect yourself, to prove you'll get in trouble for doing it anyway, but at least you can prove this happened and that happened and that person did this, and you can say, and they can say, well, no, that's just word of mouth. Word of mouth is still slander. It's still a defamation of slander, and it's still wrong because it's being used and maneuvered within other circles within people, unless the person's telling the truth, and then it's a different thing. But it's still slander. They still shouldn't do it, but it's worse if they're not telling the truth. Even if they believe it's the truth, it's still wrong. They should have checked. Unless you're a witness for something, then there's a very different finite line of things. That's a very different scenario again. But just protect yourself too, and if that ever happens, just be careful. Just be careful, because you've got to think of yourself first, regardless of most people want to speak up and tell the truth, but sometimes it's better sometimes, trust me, sometimes it's better to just say nothing about certain things and just nothing, just protect yourself. And however, what I put my phone on to talk about was I was just listening to a podcast program with, his name's, I think it's Brian Keating, and I was just wanting to talk about, metaphysically talk about what I believe is where people are trying to prove through science about, and people who are theologists, theology, religion, the study of religion, people who study religion and don't want there to be, any other God but their God, or any other situation, proven situations that they believe of what happened. My personal thoughts are, I love science. I wish I had more people I could converse with to do with science and different things, but I really don't. And I don't know if it's the autism or the dyslexia or the ADHD, but sometimes I always found at university it was very hard for me to research. Research was very hard, and even on YouTube or on the internet, on scholarly sites and things like that, or books, sometimes my research is not, I always sort of felt like I needed someone to be a researcher for me, to help me. My mother's a professional researcher. She's a genealogist, and she's written 6 books which are published with the National Australian, she's got poetry books as well, but I think it's National Tasmania or National Archives Tasmania or something, or what have you. But she's very intelligent, very amazing what she has. I don't have the love towards the lineage of genealogy in the same way I do with last names, where they come from. I find that interesting, but it's not really up my street to the point that I find it fun and great. But what I want to talk about is, number one, I've just got to be 1 second. I was cooking. I'm sorry. So what I want to, and before, if anyone watches this, that weird sound with my phone, I don't know why, but my phone is auto focusing, and that weird sound, I heard it before and I thought, what the hell is that? My phone's doing weird things and it's auto focusing. I was playing around with things the other day, so I don't know why, or if someone's hacked into my phone. I don't know. If they are, well, it's not that much to see. But what I was talking about, I can't remember now. It's not the greatest with memory retention. I have fibromyalgia as well, so I'm not the greatest with, I get fibrofogs, so I forget things. But I've really forgotten. So theology. So I'll start with where I was wanting to talk, is that my personal belief is, I had a Swami in India, in Isai Baba in Puttapati in Uttar Pradesh, where I stayed for many months living in India, and he was a spiritual person, was lovely, but I liked the religion basis of what he stated, and that was that every single religion has a basis of what they think is or believe is of God. Like we have an Allah, we have a Buddha, we have God, we have all different forms of variations of God, and other different entities and deities and what have you. I don't know if I said that word correctly. But I'm going to sit down for a second. So my personal thoughts are that after listening to Brian Keating, and he was talking about how theologists, people were really mad and angry about him, about proving about the Big Bang Theory and all of those things, and people who read the Bible, and how they didn't want to have the proof of, I don't know the whole facts of things, only just had some of it, and had the belief and thoughts that if this is science is proving this, then people won't technically believe in God as such. My personal, from what I've done from university and studies and things like that, is that my thoughts of theology is that I believe a lot of in the Western world, more so than anything, and in other worlds as well, other worlds as other cultures, is I believe that religion is a control of the society, is controlling the society. I believe in a God, Jesus really did exist, and Buddha existed, very different. Buddha was very, very spiritual. He was before Jesus, and there's been amazing people, and these good people who come through the earth, and different people, they have a large following. The following is because they talk about love and peace and protection and caring for each other and being kind and helping your fellow man, and don't hurt and harm, don't kill, don't murder. It's a lot of them have the same narrative, a very similar narratives, 500 thousands of years apart, but they have very similar narratives. My belief is that I feel people who are in theology, I believe we all put different names to different gods, and this life we are in, regardless of what some religions think or don't think, in the afterlife or not the afterlife, we can't prove everything 100%, and I'm a professional psychic medium saying that, but we still can't prove everything 100% that I know of. However, I do believe that through divine divinity, that there is some God presence, and that God presence is something that there's no word that can explain that 100%. And I do believe that God energy, intent, the energy, the love, the source of the love, this divinity that we can't really see, feel or touch as such, is something that is within dimensions and comes within the layers of the dimensions metaphysically, and that regardless of whether science proves different things about the relationship of the existence of the planets and the universes and all of those things, it does not mean that we knock religion out of the way for any means whatsoever, because the God force is a loving God, is a God who has love within his heart, her heart, its heart, whatever it is. And the energy of God is within us, and it is very strong and powerful. And it's when we think we love and purity and light and goodness, and we try to continually doing that. However, we must always remember there are sometimes people are put in environments which are just horrendous, and then you have people who will get there spiritually and say, but they wanted that in this lifetime or not, or that was part of their karmic evolvement. I don't agree with that at all. I think there are times where sometimes things happen that are just, it's not like a devil as such, but it's like there are some demonic energies that are not of positivity, and positivity in the energy of the God sense is within the divinity of the layering of our dimensions that we live in. Human beings, we have three-dimensional, but there's all different dimensions that the God entity goes within. And I believe regardless of how people say creation began or did not begin, or what culture believes happened here or happens there, what the existence of what existed, has it always existed within existing in an area of always being there, always being created? As much as that is a sort of extra sort of sensory, but also futuristically or in past thought, there's things we cannot prove or we do not know of, and the knowing of forever, the word forever, what we believe forever is. We don't know what forever is, nor what forever can mean, or how forever is part of us, and how we are part of everything, and everything is connected within us. And so no matter how much science proves whatever they prove, I still believe that there's some form, I do definitely without a doubt believe there is the form of godliness, of God, of kindness, of love, of joy, and of protection. And that love, that kindness, the joy, the protection, the good that is within the society, that those people who want to think, like, because you go to church, or because you believe in God, or because you're Christian or Catholic or Muslim, or whatever it is that you are, when you read the I can't say it today, sometimes I can't say certain words, the Bhagavad Gita, I can't say it properly. It doesn't matter how much love, energy, and how much you go to a church, or if you don't go to a church. And I was just watching something just a while ago, and the person was talking about, it was about photons, which I find interesting, but was talking about Jesus and how if you make a mistake in life, how if people make mistakes in life, that it's harder for them to get into heaven. I mean, seriously, really? God had Jesus, not God, but Jesus, he had so much love for Mary Magdalene, and she was a prostitute, believed to be. I don't know the full extent of the story of that, because I've not studied theology in the extent of what you have to teach it. And I believe that the divinity of all human people is within themselves. And what type of person is someone who goes to a church or something like that, and you see somebody fall down on the ground or something in front of you, but you hop in your car and you drive off, but you think, I've gone to church, so everything will be okay. It's not okay. Religion, God, entities, the doing good, seeing good, being a good person, all of that is around us, within us at all times. And it is really important to try and take heart. This is why when I get really mad or upset, I can't talk to people, because I don't want to talk, because I don't want to say something that I don't want to say that would be hurtful or harmful. So I just keep my mouth shut, unless I'm standing up for myself, and then I'll stand up for myself. But that's still a really hard thing to do as well. But the person that we are within ourselves, life is not perfect. We all know that. If we didn't make mistakes, say if we were working, we're learning, if you didn't get bad marks at school, how could you ever feel fantastically great when you get good marks? And remember, even if you're studying or doing things like that, the good marks that people get, especially at universities, are on like a bell curve. So the large majority of people are going to fail before they even begin, because they have to fail a majority of people. And a lot of people don't realize or know that. Similarly with religion, is that there are so many people that will go to church and claim they do the right thing, they're good people and everything like that, yet it's a majority of people. Yet when things happen, or someone needs help, or there's someone falling over, or something's going on, the people just act and behave as if they're no different to anybody else. They don't go out of their way. Some do, not all, but some do. And it's always important to remember that God is within you and all around you, And it's like at school, if you trip over, you learn to not trip over again. Some things happen to make us stronger, but some things are also things that we don't understand, that still is, it's like there's a slight horrible process that is just so terribly sad. But it's so important to be kind and caring to each other, and know that you are loved within yourself, and that regardless of what is proven in the world through science and the beliefs that scientists have about the God, all the gods, God as such, we are God within ourselves. We are part of God. We are touching, feeling. We are here. We do pray. We feel things. We get miracles happen at certain times as well. But it's so important to remember to be the best version of yourself at all times, because I mean, sometimes I get upset or angry, and sometimes I have a short temper and I get grumpy, and especially when I'm doing things with IT, because it stresses me out, and so I get really angry. And if someone talks to me while I'm concentrating, I can't cope. It makes it really hard sometimes. We all have limitations. No one is perfect. This world is not perfect. We weren't made to be perfect. And like what I was saying before, is that people who on YouTube, I see this a lot, talk about we are in the matrix, or possibly in the matrix, and I understand where they're getting at. And they will say things like this life in the world that you live in is just a simulation. It's not real. It's just a simulation. You are real. You are a real person. The person who's telling you that from their armchair, saying we're in a matrix and life's not real and you're not real and it's not real, you are the person in your body. You know that you're real. You know that you are part of whatever it is that is us, the soul, the atma, the universe, the collection of what we are as a collection of people that congregate together or apart or differently. But we are a God within us. We are a structure within us. And you are skin and bone. You are someone that if you say words to somebody, you'll hurt them or harm them, or be cruel or unkind, and you'll make someone upset. You could make them cry. You've got to be careful of the things that we give value to in what we hear as well. And remember to be kind to yourself, and know that most importantly, not everyone is extremely as intelligent as what they make out to seem to be, or they might have intelligence just wholly and solely in 1 or 2 areas, or 3 or 4 or 5 areas, but they may not be emotionally intelligent or physically intelligent or socially intelligent. We all have different interactions and ways that are futuristically and past and what content of what we are at the moment in our lives. We do have directions and flow of where we're going in life, but we must always try to remember to be kind and caring. And forgiveness is a very hard thing for, I think, a lot of people, but it's so important to try and forgive. You don't have to forget, but just try and forgive. If you can forget, you're far better, superior than anybody else to be able to do that. But not everybody's story is fantastic, and not everyone who's gone through a bad story or a not so bad story doesn't mean that what they went through is not as important as someone who went through something even horribly worse. We all are human beings, and we all cope the best way we possibly can. I'm just going to do a few little cards, and then that's what I'll do. But as a society, as a human race, we all need to stop and listen. And we have to stop the fights, the war. We have to stop the wars. The wars that are happening at the moment will destructively kill our planet and kill humanity off. Someone think the bravest man I know, not everyone agrees with me, I know people don't like, but I think the bravest thing was Donald Trump. That I don't think it was brave of the other guys to talk to this certain person in public with cameras going, saying you're not wearing a suit. That was not right and not fair, and that was bullying behaviour. But however, I think Donald Trump trying to see safety and be making sure the planet and the world is not fighting, if he keeps to that key, that would be great. But I do think those people who care about people who don't have all the money, who are not really wealthy, who are not just always middle of the range, the poor, people like that as well, people who live on the streets, we have to look after everybody and try and do the best we can. I know there's not the finances to look after everybody, but if you are wise, you can create a situation that can look after people, but it's thinking about it correctly and wisely without just getting rid of people or just thinking I don't need to help that person or that person. But it's trying to do things fairly and justly. Anyhow, I'll read my cards. So yeah, just doing a few little cards, that's all. So I have, it's called the Fool. So there's someone out there who's been very, very, very foolish, and someone's got their eye on you. And just been very foolish, and you have no one else to blame than yourself. Remember, this reading is not a full reading. It's a reading that's just for certain people, whoever it feels. But there is just someone who thinks, I'll jump, I'll do this, I'll get this, I'll get that, and they think they can take everyone down. This person's very foolish, and you can't think like that and do that to people. You've got to think wisely and care about people and be respectful and caring, because not everybody is to be destroyed. Some people do everything they can to destroy people because they have nothing better to do with their life, and because they're very unintelligible, to be quite honest, sometimes. But it's about being kind and caring to people and being wise and giving them the benefit of the doubt and being very wise. Don't step off that cliff and fall down. Make sure you've got footing underneath and you know what you're going to do and say and what's happening. But I tell you, some people have been very foolish, very foolish. You've bitten off your nose to spite your face, and you've been very foolish, whoever this person is, very foolish. And they thought they were doing a fantastically wonderful job, but they weren't. And that's very sad to see. We have Six of Swords, this card here. And so we've got someone, it's like they're setting sail on the ocean to go, it's like they're going visiting or somewhere. I'm seeing something like, it's like the Greek islands or Greece, and it's, or the island of White, but it's Greek, could even be the island of Rhodes, I don't know, but it's very, it's an ethnic, and I can feel like a calmity, a gentleness, a softness, and just, it will change things in your life. They will come to you, and it's going to be travel. But I feel that you need to learn to love yourself and let your hair down, more or less to speak, and be kind and gentle to yourself, because not everything in this world is perfect. And just realize that everyone can fall down. They have to learn to get up. If they can't get up, well then, if you can help somebody, but be kind and caring. Also make sure that you can, you have your tools of trade or what you have in your life either side of you. Be kind, be caring, be compassionate, and try not to let all this stuff that's going on affect you, but it is affecting you. But make sure you try not to affect you too much. Nobody's life path is unscathed without anything. Most people's lives have had so many different turns of events which have been horrible, and some have been great, but it's about being kind and caring and supportive as a person that you are, and work out what you want, work out how are you going to get there, what are you going to do, and what do you need to do in order to do to get there, and try and set your future out more positively and set it out in a way that is achievable, even if it starts with getting up one day and doing something different that you wouldn't do, but making an achievement. You're achieving, you're getting out there, you're doing things, you're trying to get yourself better, you're trying to win, you're trying to converse, you're trying to be part of everybody else, which we mostly have to in a socialized society that we all mostly live in. But just try and, most importantly, be kind to yourself. You need some kind and caring compassion within you. Also a legal situation that we have coming up, and the legal situation is there is light at the end of the tunnel, but don't just take this as a matter, don't just take the matter on the chin, whatever the matter is. There's something going on, and something has happened, and the consequences are the consequences, whatever the consequences are. Sometimes it's not always what you expect or what you expect it could be. But don't kick out something or someone, or kick down their hopes and dreams because you don't like them or things aren't working out great for you in your life, and you feel it's easy to pick on that person because collectively people are doing it. Don't think like that, because you should think better about people rather than not feeling better or seeing better, whoever this reading is for. And just be mindful that you should have got the right, whoever this reading is for, and I know it may not mean anything to anybody, but you should have got the right information to begin with. You've got no one else to blame but yourself for not getting the right information to start with. This is the draws that happen, but you stand up and take it, and you've got to learn to say I'm sorry. Sometimes life doesn't work out fantastically wonderful as we want, but there is some win there, some win, but not a win as in like you did the right thing. It's more a win as in you learning to say, well, I'm sorry, or be very careful not to do or make that mistake again. There's also family, and we've got lots and lots and lots of money. Family with lots and lots and lots of money. So I'm so sorry about that car. It makes me mad. It drives fast. I know I sound horrible, but I keep hoping that car blows up. The engine blows up. It drives so fast. It shouldn't drive fast. People shouldn't drive fast. Kills, can hurt, harm, could kill a person. Just shouldn't do that. And I shouldn't think those things. That's bad of me. But there's happiness, and there's contentment, and there's love, and there's togetherness there, and I see a partner in your life, and there's children. But it's like you're meeting, or you've met your match, whoever the person is, but there's happiness and there's support on either side. Anyhow, I hope this reading means something to someone, and I hope whoever's meant to see my reading, it helps. And have a lovely evening and good night.